Hey guys, alright, so I know there's going to be an echo in here, so please bear with me, but my room right now is just a disaster zone. So I brought my camera into the extra spare bedroom, which has like nothing in it, so I apologize for the echo that I know you're going to be able to hear. Okay? But today I thought that I would try out the Givenchy Teint Couture Long Wearing Fluid Foundation. This does have sunscreen and it's supposed to be illuminating and comfortable. It has SPF 20 in it. And let's see. I love it when foundations with SPF say to reapply every 2 hours. Like, yeah, right. I thought that I would test this out for you guys because I bought it during the VIB sale and I showed it in my part 1 of my haul, and when I swatched it on my hand it looked really light, but I have zero self tanner on right now, so I'm hoping that it's going to work. This is in the color 4 Elegant Beige, so I do have primer on already. I'm using the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer, and I'm going to try one side of my face with a brush and then the other side with a beauty blender, so that way we can test it out and see which way it applies better. So this foundation on Sephora has almost 5-star reviews and there's a ton of reviews. So that's pretty crazy because, I mean, everybody has different skin types, everybody has different things that they want in a foundation. So I was pretty impressed by that and it caught my eye. So let's go ahead and try it out. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. It does have a pump in it. It is a nice glass bottle and you do get 0.8 fluid ounces. So not the full 8 ounces, but it's okay. I can work with that. I'm just gonna dot a little bit on my face. And I have no idea how far this foundation is going to actually go. So I just put one pump on the back of my face. And then I'll blend it out and then I can always add more if I want to. So right away, I noticed that it's really not full coverage at all. And I think on the website, it said full coverage. So I have a little bit more, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more where I would need to conceal a little bit more redness. And I'm not even really buffing this into my skin. I am just kind of like pushing it in. It does look very natural though, but I'm not loving the fact that I can still see red coming through. Maybe a beauty blender would provide a little bit more coverage. And when I'm not self-tanned, the color is actually pretty good. Okay, so for the other side, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with one more pump and then I'll build it up from there if I need to. But this side I'm gonna use a beauty blender. Get my hair out of the way. Okay, that provides like zero coverage. So I'm gonna build it up a little bit more here in just a second. And so far, I definitely like the look of the brush application than the beauty blender. I think the beauty blender is just shearing it out too much. Here's what it looks like with the beauty blender side and one pump. Okay, so for now that I know that the beauty blender is just shearing it out too much, I'm gonna go in with another pump on both sides with a brush. Can you guys hear the birds? They're like going crazy outside right now. The brush definitely provides more coverage. But it's still, I'd say, light to medium coverage. More so on the light side because I don't have a lot of... Hey girl, Lily's in here. I don't have, well, they're both in here. There we go, bye, see you later. I don't have a lot of acne to cover, but I do have redness, especially on my cheeks. And so, I mean, if I'm gonna wear foundation, I want that to be covered. This is what it looks like with 3 pumps of foundation on total. I don't wanna put any more on because I'm afraid that it will just start to look like too cakey or heavy throughout the day when my oils start to come through. But this is what it looks like with 3 pumps, and I definitely prefer the method of using a regular brush versus a beauty blender. Remember, I used a beauty blender on this side, and then I ended up going over the whole face with a brush just because it provided more coverage. I would definitely say that this foundation is light to medium coverage at this point. You can even still see some of my redness peeking through right here on the side that I used a beauty blender, but the finish is beautiful. You can even tell that when I turn my face, you see a little bit of a satin dewiness to it. It's not dewy by any means, but I can see how the foundation says that it is illuminating. Color is pretty light, so I don't think I'd be able to wear this in the spring or summertime, just mostly because I do use self-tan, and this would not match my neck whatsoever if I had self-tanner on. The color range is pretty terrible. So if you, I'm color 4. The next one up would be something that was described as like elegant honey, I think, and I think it said it had caramel undertones. I definitely do not have caramel undertones, obviously. So I don't know if that one would even work for me. I think there's only, I'll put the number right here, how many shade selections there are. But for something that's such a highly rated foundation, so far I'm just kind of like, meh. Like, I have other foundations that perform better on my specific skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup, and then I will be right back. So here's what it looks like up close and personal. I don't think it's emphasizing any pores or anything like that. I mean, I do have enlarged pores around my cheek areas right here. They're going to be there pretty much no matter what foundation I use or what primer I use. I'm currently working on a skincare routine to kind of clear that up, but this is what it looks like up close. Like I said, it looks really pretty. I'm just not a huge fan of the coverage that it gives. But if you're looking for a really light coverage foundation that just gives your skin like a nice glow to it, I would recommend. But I do think you're gonna need pretty much flawless skin to start with in order to really love this. But I'm gonna wear it throughout the day. I have a couple appointments that I need to go to, and I will check in with you a little bit later. And just in case you guys are wondering, I did set my face with the CoverFX Perfect Setting Powder. I have a Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder on with an Hourglass Incandescent Electra blush, and the new Laguna Sun Diffused bronzer. And then I just sprayed my face with a little bit of all-nighter setting spray. That's kind of like my usual routine for setting my foundation. So let's see how this holds up. Okay guys, I'm literally just sitting in traffic. Sitting. Like, as in not moving. I don't know if there's an accident or what, but anyways, I thought that I would check in with you for the foundation that I'm testing out today. So far, I don't love it. It feels kind of heavy, even though I didn't really apply a lot to my face. And I do notice that it is settling in my laugh lines right here, which that's kind of my pet peeve. That's kind of why I've been more drawn to a lot of serum foundations lately, just because those tend to not settle into fine lines and wrinkles. But I'm going to bring you in closer so you can see. So if you can see right in here, it's settling into that line, it's settling into this line, and it looks a little bit like dry right in here, like it's emphasizing my texture, my pores over there on my forehead. It's now 6:53, and I put this foundation on at around 10 a.m. today. So this is what it looks like. It actually looks pretty good. It started off, the way that it started off, I was thinking, ooh, this is not gonna last. But it actually does look pretty good considering I've had it on for 9 hours now. Bronzer still on, contour still on. It's pretty oily in the forehead as well as like right in here. But I did also blot earlier today. It's pretty good. To be honest, it's not my favorite foundation ever, only because I didn't think that it had quite as much coverage as I usually like. And then also, it didn't like control the oil as well as some of my other foundations do. So it's not my favorite, but I do think that it is a good one. I didn't like how it broke up around my nose and a little bit on my forehead, as you can see. And yeah, it did oxidize a little bit as well. So as you can see, it probably looks a little bit darker now than it did at 10 o'clock this morning when I put it on. So yeah. Overall, I think it is a good foundation. It's not my favorite foundation, but I do feel like if you had dry skin, combination skin, or normal skin, even like maybe a little bit oily, then this would be a good foundation for you. I just think that I'm too oily for this foundation because it just doesn't do that great of job of controlling the oils. I will keep testing out other foundations for us oily skin girls out there. If you guys have any recommendations of any foundations that you think that I would like or that you are curious about and you want me to test out, then definitely let me know down below. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.